And we are live.
Awesome.
That was fast. Noelle, it doesn't usually happen this way.
It's been getting faster and faster.
Episode number 26. What do you got there, Noelle? What are you eating? Huh? Of course you are. Pizzeria combos, duh.
This actually might be my first big since coming back from Africa.
Big. You hear that, Bob? Big.
That's a Minnesota accent.
So, Noelle, I'm going to let you introduce our guest because it was your idea, and I'm excited. I never met Bob until now, so tell us who we got here.
Well, Bob is a special guy. For people that don't know him, Bob Tompkins is the most viral star that we've had on the show to date. We're getting bigger and bigger with this show, Jeff. Bob Tompkins out of Greenville, South Carolina. How's that?
Yep.
That good?
That sounds about right.
You're not allowed to do that.
I can do accents.
No, not very good at it. You still sound like you're from Minnesota.
He has had some videos that have gone totally viral, but he's had one that is over 1 million views now. And I can't believe we haven't had him on yet because he's become a personal friend of mine through this internet site called Facebook. And I wanted to bring him on so that you guys could see how you actually do a music parody. And he and I had been talking because I have a very horrible music parody that is about to come out. It'll be the first one. We actually bought a green screen, Jeff.
Yeah, after you ripped my butt? Come on.
We bought a green screen. I hate to admit it. And I may or may not have sort of tried to sing a song. And it's horrible. It's not going to do what Bob's video did, but I want to show Bob's video, and then I want to talk to him about his video. But before we show it, let's ask Bob a couple questions about it.
I have some questions. First of all, where are you right now?
I'm in my home office. Okay. So still a little messy because we just moved. We just moved in like 3 weeks ago. So
all good. I was just curious with the old yellow couch behind you there. That's like a castle couch or something.
That's my dad's. He passed it down to me. So he had that for like 30 years. It's worn out.
I see a video for that couch. I see a future video.
There could be. Very easily.
Bob, this is the power of video. I saw that you were selling your own house with a very clever video.
Yeah.
It was good.
That was a fun video.
People, you need to stalk Bob. Don't do it right now because we're interviewing him. But after we are done, go on and stalk his page. He is one of the very few people in the world that I stalk.
So, Bob, answer me this. How long have you been doing these types of videos, or just doing video in general in your business?
So I started doing video in my business in February.
What?
So I've been doing it for like 10 months. 10 months.
That's you know what? That is a testament right there, Noelle, because a lot of people stand up and say, I've been doing it for 3 years, which is a long time, or 5 years or 7 years, and it intimidates people. But that is right there. The power of video, and you don't have to have all these years of experience.
He hasn't even been doing it a year, and he has a video that has over 1 million views on it. Okay, let's show this video, and then we can talk about it.
All
right, hold on. Let me share my screen. Will you reply? Hey, Tristan, we changed it to Mondays at 2 o'clock Pacific, 5 o'clock Eastern.
Oh, I see here. He asked. Yes, we're earlier.
All right, you see my screen?
Yes, we see it.
You see, what happened there? Ready?
Yeah.
I don't know why you crack your knuckles. It's not one of those.
Hold on a
That's
second.
just the way you answer.
Hold on, that other video is playing behind it for some reason.
Hold on, we can't
have that.
Somehow Ronda Rousey came up. How'd that happen?
Minor glitch here.
There she is. Hold on.
You know, being an ass.
That's
Kevin Hart.
You ever seen that one?
Two other people that are nailing it at video, not for real estate, but follow Kevin Hart. He's amazing at video.
All right, you ready? Let's do this.
Yeah, I'm gonna show these houses on the Old Town Road. I'm gonna show till they all get sold. I'm gonna show these houses on the Old Town Road. I'm gonna show them till they all get sold. I got some houses in the back, 2-car garages attached. Front door is black, got the shutters black.
I'm mouthing it.
I've heard this song so many times.
Sit up on that boat.
What happens if you go down there?
I'm gonna tell you something.
These are the lyrics that I'm saying now.
I'm gonna tell you something. Bathroom off the master, I'll up in the shower, back up from my baby. You can go and ask her, meet up in for school. Pictures look like movies. I'm always on you. And I'm gonna tell you something.
This is my favorite part.
And I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna show these houses on the Old Town Road. I'm gonna show them till they all get sold. I'm gonna show these houses on the Old Town Road. I'm gonna show them till they all get sold. Head back, snap back, gotta write a contract, making repair requests so the house stays intact. Clients gotta have it, granite counters and the wood floors, driving them around in my Jeep Wrangler 4-door. God knows just appraisal came back, closing on the house and that's us back. Wish I could go home to that old town. Show them they all get. I'm gonna show these houses on the Old Town Road. I'm gonna show them they all get. So I'm gonna show these houses on the Old Town Road. I'm gonna show them presents Old Town Realtor, starring Bobby Ray Tompkins.
Whoop, whoop.
Yes, so good, man. So who wrote those lyrics?
I did.
Dude.
Wrote them myself. Yeah.
So good.
It turned out pretty good.
It turned out. One question that I had as I watched that like 12 times yesterday, who was jumping in the pool? Was that you?
That was my videographer. So yeah, his name's Wells Tony. Yeah. He wanted to be in it, and then the guy at the table works with him. So both of them wanted to be in the video, so we made it happen.
How long did it take you to write those lyrics?
About 3 weeks. I started playing around. I was on Snapchat, and I was Snapchatting my friends with that song in the background, and I threw a couple real estate lyrics over it, and then I had a couple friends that were like, "Yo, you should do a whole song." So that's how I started thinking, but it took me like 3 weeks to put it together.
That's also a testament to how long it takes to prepare for these types of things.
Yeah.
It is. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, okay. So all of the scenes and the way that you laid the video out, how much of that came from you and how much of that came from your videographer, and how did you guys kind of plan that out?
So that was probably about 50-50. There were a few ideas that came from them that I could have never come up with. Like having the Chewbacca suit was not at all my idea. So my videographer had a Chewbacca suit. That was my videographer's Chewbacca suit.
Okay, that just ruined it for me, because here I'm picturing that you sit around your house in your Chewbacca.
with a Yoda doll. What's the correlation there, or was it totally just supposed to be random?
Well, because I had one lyric that said you could have a man cave to watch the Force. So we pulled that in that way. Yeah. But then, some of the different shots with my Jeep, the shower was all my idea. Me running down the street pointing at the houses was my videographer. So it was a collaboration. We sat down, looked at the lyrics, and from the moment I wrote the song and we recorded it to when we filmed it there was about a 3 to 4 week gap between those two. So we had plenty of time to think through the different shots. So it was a collaborative effort there.
That's awesome.
So a couple things that I think made this go viral to the extent it did. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but one thing that you totally capitalized on was that song was pretty brand new. As soon as it came out, you hit the wave of that song being popular.
Yeah.
I think it's such a catchy tune that people just totally ate it up. And you were you in the video too. Like I can see you in that video, like you sprinting down the road. The way that you did, like, that's funny. That's hilarious. That's who you are. And so the authentic piece of it came shining through and people just bought into it.
Yeah.
They totally did.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're right. Because number one, we released the video before Lil Nas X had released the video for the actual song. So we beat them to a music video.
You did?
Yeah, so that was like the song was literally peaking when we released the video, which was cool. And then, yeah, I mean, I try to be as authentic as I can with all my videos. So, I mean, that, you know, thankfully my videographer did a good job of capturing that. And I think it kind of created a perfect storm for us.
Yeah. So, okay. Let's talk about how and where you post your videos, because I think that's a piece of it too. I've noticed that you post them pretty much exclusively to your business page.
I do. Yeah.
Which
is, huh?
Do you share outwardly?
Yeah, I mean, I share it to my personal page. The reason I do it that way is because so many people, their business pages become graveyards because they don't put any of the content that can get shared from that page because they want, you know, a higher view rate from the get-go, from their first, second, third video. So they start doing it from their personal page as opposed to their business page, and they never generate traffic to it for that purpose. So I knew when I started doing that I was going to get kind of low engagement the first few months. Until I built that audience that was coming there specifically for the videos. So I suffered through a few months. I mean, I was prepared for it to be a year of low engagement doing it that way. But this video kind of helped springboard me from being just, you know, a couple months of low engagement on the business page.
You know, if I can say one thing to that too, though, and I think, Noel, I think you can agree. I think too many agents or just salespeople in general get caught up in views. And, you know, and they get too much, and that doesn't equate to revenue. That doesn't equate to opportunities. And what you did is perfect because you're right. A business page is an absolute graveyard if you don't play the game correctly. And you're very smart. I hope people were listening there. You should originate it. Don't worry about getting thousands of views, 10,000 views. That's not okay. That's cool. That's fun. It's popularity. But does that then equate to opportunities? That's what you have to decide for yourself.
Right.
Right. I'm still struggling with this one. Like even this parody that we have coming out, I was just having the conversation with the videographer and with my assistant Christy of like, hey, are we gonna, when it's done, are we gonna post it on my personal page, which is where we've traditionally posted everything. But then once it goes there, it's hard to find it again. And after a while, they do kind of get lost on your personal page. Or do we take the risk this time and post it to the business page so that we can boost it after a while if we want to?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that is another advantage to the business page is that I can go back in and run them as ads or, you know, boost them out if I want to use the boost button, you know, and get it in front of people again. I can't do that with my personal page. So, I mean, that's a huge advantage to doing it that way.
When that one came out, I'm just curious kind of how it went viral so quickly, like what happened when you saw it happening. Was it being shared by other realtors or was it being shared by just your general sphere? What did you see happen with it and kind of how long did it take it to hit that million?
So it took a little bit for it to get to the million mark. I can't remember exactly how many days it was. I know it hit 800,000 views in a week. So, but when I posted it originally, it was a lot of my sphere that shared it immediately. When I saw it, my videographer sent it to me the day before we posted it. I didn't see it until 24 hours before we posted it. And when he sent it to me, I watched it and I woke my wife up. We were on vacation. I woke her up and was like, this is going to go viral. So the moment I watched it, I knew it was going to. But what shocked me was when we posted it, it got like 50 shares in the first like 3 minutes. And when that happened, I was like, oh no, this is going to blow my phone up, which is what ended up happening. It had 50,000 views in the first day, which is insane. That never happens.
Oh my God.
And we were in Seattle. Me and my wife were in Seattle, and she got so frustrated because for the next 3 days, I was on my phone the entire time responding to people. So it blew up really fast.
It's awesome, man.
I don't know why.
I can tell you why.
Well, it's good.
That was epic, dude. You running down the street was by far the funniest. And there's a lot of good parts in that, but that was the funniest part is you running down the street. That was hilarious.
It was a good shot.
Kristen Long says on here that she shared it at least 999,000 times.
Well, yeah, Kristen's great. She's a big reason that went viral too. She got that pumped out to the Remax network. And Lana was at Remax at the time. Both of them really pumped it out. So
did anything? Okay, so when did this come out?
May. It was It was May 7th. It was the day after my anniversary. I should remember that. It was May 7th.
And did anything, like, what has come of it? Like, what is one thing that you can say has come from this video?
Well, number one, I got a ton of exposure from it. I got, I was on Adam Contos's podcast, Start With a Win. I was on, I was able to do a live call with Chris Smith. A lot of my connections within the industry came from that, from the video. And then I want to make sure I get names right. Dana Crum, who's in this group, actually called me the day after I posted it and told me she had somebody moving to Greenville. So I got a referral the very next day from when we posted the video. So, I mean, it turned into real business right away, turned into great connections within the industry. And then, I mean, I've gotten so much exposure within my market because the city I live in, I live right outside of Greenville in Anderson, South Carolina. And our town's population is 27,000 people. So when you have a video that gets that sort of traction online, it becomes where like everybody in your town knows who you are. So I've been able to get a lot of exposure here because of it too, which has been great.
Sounds like Red Harmon a little bit, doesn't it, Noelle?
Yeah. Well, when he sent me a message about something and I was like, is this like the Bob of like Old Town Realtor Bob? And he was like, yes, it is. And I was like, I'm talking to a viral video star. It is cool. It's so cool to watch what that did and to watch how just one clever, creative idea. And this is exactly what I'm talking about when I tell people it doesn't have to necessarily be like some crazy, innovative idea. The lyrics of the song were what was super crazy and innovative, but you took someone's music and made a parody with it, and most of the stuff that I make is like a parody, right?
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this, and so you guys, and I want to, again, I don't want to scare off the audience by saying Bob was so ahead of the game that he got his video out ahead of the actual artists.
Right.
I think when it comes to doing parodies, and Noelle, I don't know what you're doing, but based on the cryptic posts, I'm guessing it's something older. I don't think it's new. I think if you're a realtor and you're looking at doing a parody, you don't have to do what Bob does, although that is awesome. I would say it's more important if you're going to do it right away. And if you miss the boat and you see 5 or 6 people do it, just cut it out. Don't even bother. And go back to a song that could be 10, 15, 20, 30. It doesn't matter. If the lyrics are right and you can spin it correctly, it will be a hit.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, for me, we happened to take advantage of that song, which was awesome. But we haven't done another music video yet, but we've been thinking through possibly doing one. And where we've gone next is Queen. So, I mean, that's obviously going backwards. Not looking for future music to come out. So, you don't have to do what's out right now, but it's important the lyrics are done right, because so many people don't, they want to rush lyrics, or they want to get a bunch of information on something that in the song only has 4 beats to it. And you can't do that. The lyrics need to line up with the original lyrics of the song.
Yeah, which is tough. It's very, very tough. I've experienced it, and you will all see how hard it is. It's not easy. It's why I have not done it. Really. And you kind of have to be able to hold a tune, too. You know?
Well,
I don't know about that.
debatable.
You know what? That actually, I would argue that not being a good singer actually makes it better. It makes it way more entertaining.
You think so?
It's funny. Absolutely.
Because I'm not a good singer, and that.
I mean, I was gonna say no offense, but you're not winning any American Idol.
No, I'm not, and it's so frustrating because my mom and my brother are excellent singers. I took right after my dad.
Noel, let's bring up the legal aspect of this. You and I were talking about this yesterday, and conveniently, you're married to a brilliant man. And I asked the question because my videographer, which brings me back, I want to ask you a question about your videographer, but who's very conservative about doing licensed music in our videos. And there's a big difference between using licensed music and doing a parody. Noel, tell the listeners what Seth said about that.
Well, without throwing him under the bus. So Seth basically says that with music parodies especially, there is a broad range of leeway with what you can do with them as long as it's a true parody. And so if
Tompkins is the most.
Sorry, I pulled up the chat on my phone and it started talking.
I wanted to hear what she was going to say.
Sorry.
But you can get away with doing quite a bit because it is an artistic rendition, basically, of that same music piece. So you can get away with quite a bit. So
It's important to know.
yeah. So that's kind of the answer. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I'm kind of doing something similar to what Bob did. And we'll see what happens. But from what I understand, as long as you're not just taking the exact song, where people get in trouble is they just take the song and they put it in the background of their video or whatever, and they don't pay for commercial rights for that.
Right.
So anyway.
Yep. And I think you said it best. Don't rely necessarily, get your own legal advice if you think you're doing something that could be, because you don't want to face fines. It wouldn't be worth it. And
Yeah.
You got to be careful there. Bob, I wanted to ask you another question about your videographer. So do you have a full-time videographer on staff? Do you pay him per project? What's your story?
So I pay him per project. He's not on staff, but his name's Wales Tony. He does a lot here in our market. He's actually contracted with the city of Greenville for some stuff. He's done work for the Harlem Globetrotters. He does a lot of music videos in Nashville. So I mean, he's probably to the point to where in the next year or so he might price me out. But he does excellent work. I'm friends with him now, but I was friends with one of the guys that works with him, Sam Beasy, who I went to college with. So met them that way. And actually I saw a video that Sam had posted on Facebook, and I contacted him and was like, hey, this is awesome. I'm about to start incorporating, video into my business. I need to have somebody that can do stuff like this for me. So that's how I, found him. I saw a video on Facebook and reached out to him because of it.
Yeah. Well, and, this is something that we've said before, Jeff, where having a videographer and having a talented videographer doesn't mean that you just necessarily have great content. He came up with the content, he came up with the idea, and then shared it with the videographer. And then the videographer took that content and maybe gave him suggestions on how to make it better. But he came up with the initial content.
Yeah, I mean, this is a realtor group, so it's not like there's a bunch of his other clients in this. They could be watching this, but he tells me all the time that they appreciate me as a client more than a lot of their other clients because I actually bring something to the table. I don't just leave creative to them and hope it's good.
Yeah.
So,
well, and with realtors, I think the problem is that if we let a videographer just show up, they're not really going to understand the ins and outs of what it is that we do, what we're trying to communicate. It took me a long time to get on the same page with my videographer about doing actually non-real estate related stuff and doing more brand awareness.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, and I think your video does a really great job of also creating brand awareness. It's very apparent where you're at when you watch that video.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about some of the other videos that you do, because I don't want to discount those either. You are just in general really great at doing video, and you're a natural on camera, and your content is usually pretty dang funny. Like if I see one of your videos come up, I'm for sure stopping to watch your videos. So let's talk about that. Like, what are some of your other kind of videos that you've had success with? What have you been enjoying putting out?
Right. So like, as you know, Jeff brought up a little earlier ago, and you asked a question about where I post my stuff, being on my business page and not, my personal page. I have to make sure that the content is, has a high edge rank, is being shared out there. So one of my favorite posts that I do every week, I have 3 videos that are posted every single week. They're series. One is, I do it on Wednesdays. It's called a Hump Day Giveaway. I give away a $25 gift card every single week. So that's my favorite thing that I do, but it generates a ton of results for my business page because all I require people to do is to share it. So when they share it, they're entered in to win, and it gets like 60 shares a week, which keeps my edge rank high so that when I post other videos, they actually get out to the people that follow me. The other 2 that I do are Foodie Fridays, where me and a lender that I work with go to different restaurants every week. And then I have another one called Beer of the Week with a local beer shop owner in Anderson I just like drinking beer. So we go up there and we film it and we talk about the beer. It's like a 5-minute long video. And those videos get decent results for what they are. They're in the market, so I don't expect people that are outside of my sphere to really watch them at all. Those are meant for my sphere. And then, of course, we do listing videos, which I've had a few of those that have gotten a pretty good amount of traction just organically, because that's where I really let my personality come out and we have some fun with it and have creative ideas. So we did one with Full House a few weeks ago that a lot of people watched. So it was cool.
That was an awesome one. It was hilarious.
Yeah. So, I produce it's a wide range of videos. We try and get about 15 out a month is typically the goal, to have one every other day.
Wow, dude, you should have your videographer on retainer. It would save you money.
Well, I do the weekly stuff myself. I do those with my own equipment. When it's a listing video or a one-off idea, he comes in for those.
Gotcha.
So,
that brings up a good point, folks. Listen, and what Bob's doing is not like going to the local establishment and interviewing somebody is not rocket science, but it works. And you're right. Noel in Minnesota and me in St. Louis, we may not watch it, but we're not your target. Your target is your SOI, is your area. So I love what you're doing, dude. I think that's so smart. And even the giveaways on every Wednesday. I just saw something this past week. Again, ironically, it was Rhett, where they do a guess how many, M&Ms are in the jar or whatever for a holiday. And it's just little things like that drive engagement to your business page, which is the key.
Right.
To get people to go to that page to share or engage. That's the name of the game, folks. And that's what you all should be doing on your business pages, because that is where you do business.
Right. And the reason I love the Hump Day video so much, just to hit on this one more time, is that's 52 weeks of the year I'm getting in front of people in my market for $25 a week. And it adds up to $1,300. You can go hire a videographer and pay him $2,500 to do a music video, and that's great. But you're going to get, one round of exposure to people that are in your market. I get 52 rounds of exposure for half the price. So
is there any rule about the giving away the $25? Have you looked into that? And
not from a Facebook standpoint. From realtor ethics, I can't keep anyone from winning it. Facebook.
Like the Facebook giveaway stuff.
They haven't sent me anything. I haven't heard anything that says it's not. So until they tell me it's not, I'm going to keep doing it.
I think it's in how you do it, because they used to have a rule where if you like wrote in your post something like comment, share, blah, 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 that you might get in trouble for that. Am I right? Am I right or wrong?
It's not that you get in trouble for it, but they will suppress. Like we just heard this in the last couple of months, that if you start asking for them either verbally or in your posts, you might find that your post gets suppressed because Facebook wants it to be organic.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's a good point. If you didn't hear that, and I don't think we actually did that. That was Erica Wolf who shared that, who, by the way, that would be a good guest at some point, Noel. Is that if you ask for like, shares, comments, whatever, you might have your post suppressed by Facebook. So don't do it.
Okay. That must be what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Me and Erica did a video together. Love Erica.
Do you? Yeah,
I'm going to be with Erica this week.
Yeah, I heard you're going to that.
I know it was supposed to be a secret, but it got out. Okay, you said that you film it with your own equipment. Everybody's going to ask, what equipment are you using?
So I use a Sony Handycam. The one thing that I wish I had done on the front end that I didn't realize was I bought a 4K camera, and I didn't realize how long that was going to take to edit in Adobe. It slows down my computer a ton. I would have just gotten an HD camera had I known that on the front end. But I use that. I have Audio-Technica mics that we hook up because audio is more important than video quality. So we make sure we have good audio on everything. I'm going to be getting lapel mics here soon just because I need it to be a little cleaner. But it's simple stuff. We use that. We use Adobe, and then the Audio-Technica mics give us good, clean audio. So I got everything from Amazon for under $1,000.
So you're editing with Adobe Premiere?
Yeah.
How did you learn how to edit?
YouTube. Lots of YouTube.
Yep.
So yeah, because I wasn't going to pay to learn how to do it. And the simple stuff's pretty easy. I haven't gotten into a lot of technical cuts, but yeah, YouTube.
There's a YouTube channel. I always like to tell people this. This is how I learned how to do all my editing. There's a YouTube channel called Chin Fat. I didn't make the name up. It's just what the guy calls his channel. He is amazing at teaching very technical editing on Adobe. I spent a good chunk of evenings watching Chin Fat, and that is how I learned. So if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Yeah.
And Lana says hi. She's on now.
Hi, Lana.
She's great. She's great. I was talking to her last night.
Anything else to add?
Not off the top of my head, unless y'all got questions.
I think we kind of covered it. They had some really good. You had some really good feedback, and it's for lack of a better term, it's fairly simple. I think what's important is just that creativity. You have a creative mindset, and you're yourself. You're authentic. I'm gonna go stalk your stuff because I want to see some of your listing videos, which I assume are equally entertaining. And I think that's important. People don't stand in front of a damn house and say, "Hey, it's so and so with so and so Realty. I'm here. Let me walk you through." Nobody wants to watch that crap.
Right. And that's the thing is I think I've done it enough now to where when people see that I'm posting a listing video, they expect it to be entertaining. So they want to take the time to watch now because I've developed that kind of reputation.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
You set the bar high.
I know. We have to keep getting better every single time.
Yep. When do you find that you get your most creative ideas? Like what do you do to kind of inspire your brain?
I'll sit in my office and just have music on, and I'll literally just toss the football to myself and just think. I used to think like a year ago, if you'd have told me I could have come up with some of this stuff, I'd have been like, "You're crazy." I've always had a little bit of creativity, but I'm not in any way, shape, or form the most creative person in my own family. So I didn't think like this was I'd be able to come up with these ideas. It was a matter of once I started doing them that I started getting the ideas. It was, hey, I've created this. What if we did it this way? And, changed, did it with a music video or, took a parody of a old TV show. Like, what if we did those things? If I had never started doing video, I would have never gotten the ideas. So, you know, it's kind of trial and error. The more you do it, the more creative you get. I don't believe anybody's not a creative person. I just think that they're not creating. And if you're not creating, you're not going to know how to do it.
Yeah, it's like an exercise.
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, you didn't know how to squat the first time you did a squat, you know?
Oh, speaking of squats, just wait till you guys see our video.
Oh. I don't have insider knowledge on that.
When's it coming out, Noelle?
Probably tomorrow. It's taking forever to export. It was supposed to come out today, but as you will know, when you make a big file on your computer, right, Bob? It takes a while to get it off of your computer and to get it ready. And it's the worst time because you've created this thing and you're waiting there and you're waiting for your computer to finish exporting it. And it just takes forever to like get the finished product done once it's all finished. So anyway, yes, this one has lots and lots of layers to it. So it might take a whole day to export.
I'm looking forward to seeing this.
Awesome.
Anyway. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us and for sharing some of your secrets. And if you guys haven't already followed Bob, how do people find you?
So my Facebook page is where I put pretty much everything out. And it's the easiest way to find it is at Better Call Bob Tompkins. So, you know, you find it that way, or you can, you know, go to my personal page. About every other post I share is from my business page. So it's pretty easy to find.
Well, you heard it from him. Go find him. Go watch the parody of the Full House. That one's really good too. It
was the most fun listing video to shoot.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Hey, before we go, I have to tell you that Brad says hello.
Yes, Brad McCollum.
Love
there you
Brad.
Go, Brad. There you go. You happy?
Brad has produced the best listing video I have ever watched. Ever.
Which one?
His story. He did a story
just recently.
What? I don't know how to explain it. He had the owner of the house.
Oh, that one. Yes.
Sit down and talk through. I could have watched that thing for half an hour. It was so engaging. With
the big property and everything. It's in LabCode. Just go search it in LabCode Agent, search Brad McCallum.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
As if we need to feed his head anymore. He's sitting back right now just smiling.
Did you see his ballerina one too?
Oh, that was good.
Yeah.
That one was genius. He had a ballerina going through a vacant townhome. Genius.
Yep. It was good. That was an awesome.
How you make vacant engaging.
All right, folks. Hey, don't forget we've switched our time now. We're never really consistent, but for the most part, Mondays at 4 Central, 5 Eastern, 3 Mountain, 2 Pacific.
I can't keep track.
I know.
Sometime on Monday, usually.
Oh, by the way, Noelle, you're going to Closing Table in a couple weeks. Me too. Maybe I won't get there till Wednesday night though, but let's do a show from there that week.
Yeah, that sounds good. It sounds good. All right. Well, thanks everybody.
Bob, great to meet you, brother. Thanks for sharing.
Absolutely.
Bye-bye.